Saint Agnes, Lamb of Light. There are souls who, though they live only a short time, leave a light so bright that it will not be extinguished for 1,000 years. And in that light there is a small but gentle name, Saint Agnes, the girl of Rome, who dedicated her whole life and her life to God. The origin of a pure soul. The story goes that at the end of the 3rd century, in the splendid and chaotic city of Rome, there was a little girl born into a wealthy family. Her parents loved her and raised her in the Christian faith that was still being persecuted. Her name was Agnes, which in Greek means pure, and in Latin the sound of that sound sounds like Agnes, lamb. Perhaps that was no coincidence, because her life would later truly become that of a sacrificial lamb. From an early age, Agnes was different. While other girls her age dreamed of dresses, love, and marriage, Agnes dreamed of only one thing: to belong completely to Jesus. She once said, "He is my beloved, he has chosen me, and I will have no other husband but him." It was not the words of an innocent child, but a lifelong vow. A vow sealed with the heart, the soul, and later with life. When faith is tested, Rome was not peaceful then. Christians were considered rebellious, dangerous, and heretical. Yet Agnes, a girl of 12 or 13, dared to openly proclaim herself a believer, and moreover, refused all marriage proposals from noble young men. It is said that a rich young man, the son of the governor, was infatuated with Agnes. When she refused, he became angry and denounced her as a Christian. With just this accusation, she was dragged before the court. The magistrate asked, "Will you worship the Roman gods?" Agnes calmly replied, "No, God alone is my God." The whole court was in an uproar. They threatened, they promised, they asked her to deny her faith. But the little girl only smiled. No trembling, no resentment, only the light in her clear eyes, the light of an unquenchable faith. Miracle in the midst of sin. Unable to convince her, the authorities wanted to humiliate her. They ordered Agnes to be taken to a brothel, a place of filth that a pure soul could not endure. But then the miracle happened. Her hair suddenly grew long, falling like a cloak, covering her whole body. A strange light shone around her, frightening those who would offend her. One man who looked at her with lustful eyes was instantly blinded, but when Agnes prayed, his sight returned. People were terrified. No one dared to touch her. And they said, "This girl has divine power." But for Agnes, there was no power. It was only God protecting the one he loved. Lamb of God. Unable to convince her, the magistrate ordered her execution. That day, in the middle of the square, people saw a small young girl standing upright, holding a martyr's palm branch in her hand, whispering a prayer. No one heard her cry of fear, only her voice resounding like music. "Jesus, I belong to you. Receive me." The sword fell. A stream of youthful blood soaked into the ground like the first drop of wine offered to God. It is said that at that moment, Agnes's face seemed to be smiling. She died when she was only 13 years old. But at that moment, she entered eternity, becoming a lamb of light, a symbol of virginity, faith, and courage. The tomb and the miracle that never ceased, Agnes's body, was buried on the Via Nomentana, where a basilica was later built in her name, the Basilica of Sant'Agnese fuori le mura. And from the 4th century until now, pilgrims still come, light candles, and pray at the tomb of that little girl. It is said that many miracles of healing occurred here, and many souls found peace in Agnes's prayers. Since then, the Church has dedicated January 21st to her memory. Every year on that feast day, in Rome, people perform a special ritual, blessing 2 white lambs. Their wool will be used to weave the pallium, the cape of archbishops, a symbol of unity with God. Because Agnes is the image of a faithful little lamb, ready to sacrifice herself for the love of God. Echo of an immortal soul. After more than 17 centuries, the story of Saint Agnes has never faded. From the great churches of Europe to the small chapels, the image of the girl holding the white lamb still appears, gentle, pure, and courageous. Agnes is the patroness of young women, of those who aspire to purity, and of those who suffer for the faith. She is asked to protect the weak, to support lost souls, and to rekindle the flame of faith in cold hearts. Agnes's life is a living testimony that youth does not make us small before God. Faith does not require strength, only fidelity. And love for God can make a 13-year-old girl conquer an empire. People remember her not for her miracles, but for the strength of her gentle soul. Agnes did not use a sword, did not speak hateful words. She chose to believe, to love, and to give herself. In a world filled with fear, she became proof that true strength comes from purity and deep faith. A story for today. If today we look around and see life full of pressure, see faith challenged, see kindness tarnished, remember Agnes. She is not a distant saint, but a young person who trembled, who was lonely, but did not let fear overcome faith. In the darkness of the world, she became a small candle, and the light from that candle is still enough to light the way for millions of people. Saint Agnes left no books, no teachings, only a life full of faith. She is the gentle breath of dedication, the white flower growing in the ruins of the empire, the little Lamb of God called back to glory. Every time we hear her name, let us remember, whoever trusts performs miracles. And it is in that trust that the bread of charity, the light of faith, and the life of the soul will be nourished forever, from generation to generation.